Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new construction update video for Epic Universe. Thank you for joining me live this time. I thought that would be a lot of fun just to try one live for once instead of edited. So we will see how this goes, how it flows tonight. If anyone joins in the chat, we're going to talk about a lot of Epic Universe stuff. There is a ton to cover. And I kind of figured there may end up being an edited version of this video, and I'm not really sure. There may be, there may not be. We will see. Just depends. We have so much to cover that I don't know what we should edit out and what we should leave in. So we may just end up doing so. But welcome in. Welcome to the chat. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can join all of our live streams that we do and our Epic Universe videos that we put out. One every week. This week you guys are getting two. So how about that? Two this week, but we're going to get into this and we're going to talk about everything Epic Universe and in just a second. So everything that we do here with the updates, all of these updates come from BioReconstruct on X. You guys can follow him there at BioReconstruct, and periodically, every week or every 2 weeks, he'll drop a bunch of new photos. Earlier this week, we covered some photos that were from last week that we didn't get to cover because of the official announcement and news of Super Nintendo World. But now we are actually going to cover what was just dropped yesterday. And there were so many that he dropped yesterday that I was totally confused of how many photos that there were. And it wasn't until just like now that I got to sit down and see all the photos and everything that we have to go over. It's quite a bit of stuff. And but we're not going to talk about how much we got to get into. We are just going to dive in over the next 30, 45 minutes, hour long, however long we're here. But we are, like I said, we're doing this live if you're just joining us. And so we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your live reactions of what you have to say. Also, make sure you leave a comment down in the actual video itself because it greatly helps us out. And hit that like button. We are only 6 subscribers away from 7,000 subscribers. That is insane, and I'm hoping we can reach that goal during the live stream today, but we shall see. So without further ado, let's just get into it right now. So we're going to start off with Starfall Racers. Of course, that is down the thumbnail. You guys saw that, but it was testing again yesterday or the day before yesterday. And so we got some good looks at Starfall Racers here. And let's just start off with the thumbnail. Here is an aerial photo of Starfall Racers train being tested at Epic Universe. This looks amazing. It looks like it's coming off of a corkscrew there as it goes up and around. And the colors of this ride vehicle are just amazing. I love the colors of this. I think it looks good, looks tight and nice. And I cannot wait to ride this thing because I know it's just going to be awesome. But I think we have several photos here of this. So this is going to be really cool just to dive into and see. So let's just do it real quick. Let's see here. Let's just post this link. I forgot to put on social media that I'm live. We might as well do that. It might be a nice idea. You know, get people pumped, get everyone going for Epic Universe because I think it's going to be a lot of fun today. We're just going to enjoy ourselves, have a lot of fun, and have a good time. Okay, let's get into it now. All right. Sorry about that. Had to post that up there. So hopefully, we've got something going on with this. Movement keeps coming. More pieces are being added to it, obviously. So we're going to continue to see this update and this look just much better. So let's go on to the next photo here. You can see it going through the ride vehicle here, or the ride vehicle going through the race train. is starting to dive through a non-inverted loop just after the launch of the station. So to keep in mind how this is going to go, it does have a launch on this coaster. So just keep that in mind as you are preparing to ride it and preparing for everything that is going on with this. Like, this just looks like tons of fun. I cannot wait to try this out and see how this is going to go. And excuse the dogs in the background, I apologize. Okay, so here at the center of this aerial photo, a Starfall Racers train is crossing over the launch of the station. The train had launched here at ground level a moment before. Construction at the bottom of the right is in the queue. So you can see the queue there. That is pretty awesome. Hey, Bo, welcome in. So you see how this is going around here, this train crossing over the launch of the station. So it comes out and it goes over top and then it'll go up and around from other videos I have seen. So it's just kind of like goes through and then up like that. So that is pretty sweet. I love that. And then here's another side of it. You can see as this comes around, going towards the launch and going around here like so. I mean, it's just really cool to see this out and blatantly in front of everyone. And if you haven't noticed in these photos, first of all, that there are test dummies on the actual ride vehicle itself. So that is cool. We're getting closer and closer to actual people actually riding this as we've got the test dummies out now and everything. Now, keep in mind, we're going to talk about it. We may talk about it a little bit later. I think we're going to talk about it. The Dragon Racers Rally, that they actually have people testing that right now, like actual people on that one. So we're getting close to that actually happening. And then, of course, we have this photo as well, coming down and around. This was the train, the farthest extent of the ride track. So this is towards the back side of it, which looks just awesome. I just love the different colors, like the neutral different colors of the actual ride train. It's like close to yellow, then it's like almost a gold color. Looks great though. Looks really good. And then this one's going around here. This one you can really see the test dummies really well here. This is the open-sided seats and the high bank turn right here as this goes up and around. And then of course they have this as it's going up, and then the test dummies you can see there. I wish I was one of those. I would willingly test out this without. It might not be the safest thing in the world, but I would openly do so. I think that would be a lot of fun. All right, so and then here's another close-up view of the test dummies. Looks like they got bags on their head, doesn't it? So this is really cool to see as close as everything is here. This just looks so good. I mean, I think this is one of the best looking coasters in a while. And if you can see the restraints, very similar to Velocicoaster in some regards. But I do love the steampunk celestial look to this. I think that is a plus, and it looks just great. It looks amazing. All right, let's move on here. Now we have this one too. As it's returning back to the station, you can see here at the bottom, returning back to the station, looks really good. I mean, I just want to see this go. I mean, I've seen some videos of this in motion and it looks really good, but I cannot wait to, like I said, I can't wait to ride it. It's, if not one of my favorite attractions I'm looking forward to. Okay, so we've been talking about the Helios. We've been talking about the hotel and the dome on top. So we've been talking about how, you know, they've been working on finishing that and everything. And they are continuing to put this together. It's almost like a gold plate. John says, Starfall Racers is going to be a highly acclaimed and world-renowned coaster. I think so. I think you're right. I think it's going to be really amazing. They're going to do a great job with this one. But you can see aerial photo of the large dome at the Helios Grand Hotel. It is being covered in an underlayment for themed roof. So they're going to continue to push that out and to do that too. So it looks really good. And then here you can see another wide photo here. Here's the main dome here in the center. And to the right, we have a smaller one. The smaller dome was recently raised, then capped. The large dome is being covered in underlayment. So what you see has been done to this one on the right will be done to the one in the middle. So just keep that in mind for how it looks. Says, I don't know if this is the final product of what it's going to look like. This may just be another layer underneath, but it looks really good and really, really cool. I think that this is a definite top contender here for hotels to beat out everybody else. I think this is going to be really awesome. I'm not being naive. I'm just saying. Hey, Dubstep5, welcome into the stream. Welcome. All right, let's keep moving on here. And you can see here's another angle of this. This is the straps are still attached to the cat. The dome has lighting fixtures on there. So they're putting lighting fixtures on top. It's going to just light up at night. You know, it's going to look good and stuff. So you can see the construction workers working on it. They have the cords attached to it. So not everything is completely done with that one. They're going to continue to have that one, you know, come together. Now here's an over-the-top view. This is pretty cool. If you can see here at the bottom right, there is a small dome right there, and that is yet to be lifted up, where it's going to go right here, and then it's going to actually come up and be there on the top left. So the one that's on the right, you can see that there, and then the one eventually is going to be on the top left. So just keep that in mind, that both sides are going to look very similar to that and what they're doing there. So that looks good. Now let's look a little over further to the left. You can kind of see here the top of the hotel height just kind of goes down gradually, and then behind it you can actually see as well where the other dome is placed. You can actually see that there looks like there is going to be the pavement started. The black here at the bottom looks like the pavement is being started. Now another thing to note is that the pool is also going to be over here to the side. So we're going to show you some photos of that in just a minute. But everything here, it's something they're continuing to do. Not everything's going to be done right away, but with each piece that comes in, I think it's just another added layer. And it looks like we're getting another dome. If you look to the bottom left where the green little crane is there, it looks like we're getting another one that's being built up. It's probably going to be lifted. So I'm assuming we're going to get 4. If I can remember what the concept art looks like for that. We'll have to look that up in a minute and see if I'm right on that. But moving along, you can see here's the one that was sitting down on the ground. And of course, the dome cap here at the bottom left looks good. People are working on it. They're going to lift that up, I guess. You can see where they have the pillars around it, where they can hoist it back up, and that'll be done there. So it looks good. And then here's a further back photo. Now this is what we were talking about just a second ago. The small dome will be raised, of course, but if you look at the bottom left, here's a parking garage here, and then also here is some pavement that is being done. So all that is surrounding that, and it looks really good. And that'll be leading into the hotel where you go up, and then, if they're going to offer valet, you'll be able to drop your car off, and then drive up, drop your luggage off, everything else, and then head to the parking garage right there to the bottom left. And then, of course, the aerial photo here, we can see the carousel. We can see Wizarding World to our left, Dark Universe a little bit to our right, and, of course, the main fountain in the middle. Looks really good. Hello, Lisa. Welcome into the stream. Thank you for joining. And so that looks really good right there. And I think what they'll do is they'll continue to have this happen. So it'll look good. Guys, we are 5 subscribers away from 7,000. That is amazing. That is really cool. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. That would greatly help us out. Let's hit 7,000 tonight. Let's hit 7,000 during the stream here. All right. So let's move on. Here's another photo here. We're going to take our time with these because there's plenty of them to talk about. And so this is the front side, or the back side of the hotel. You can see the glass going through here, and they're putting the glass panels in here. And then, of course, just a little wider view of what we just saw, or a closer up view of what we just saw there. The look of this is just phenomenal. Like, this looks something out of a dream almost to me when it's completed, the concept art. You know, I think it's just something very celestial, very futuristic, and it looks great. It just really does. But let's move on, see what we've got else here. Here is another photo of the pavement going around, which we've seen that already, so we won't spend a lot of time on that. Now here is a aerial overview of pool construction going on. You can see the pool right there, and then the little circular area, which is most likely going to be a bar, bathrooms over there to the right, and everything else. So if you've been to like Cabana Bay, just think about the pool that's there and how they have the little bar area there and the pool around it. So that's pretty similar to what it's going to be. It's going to look good though. And so from what I understand, this one only has one pool. Cabana Bay has two, right? Yeah. But you know, you'll be staying at the Stella Nova and Terra Luna for other ones like that. So that is pretty cool. It is a little closer view here. They're doing all the construction going. I've watched a pool be constructed before when I lived with my sister a few years ago, and it's really interesting to watch them do this, and it's really cool. So if you've never seen that, look it up on YouTube. It's really cool to watch a pool being done. So I'm kind of like fascinated with that a little bit. Okay, now we're going to go back to the other side. We're going to go inside the park. We've been spending time behind the park. Now let's go inside of the park and show you a little bit here. So this is an overview looking at the hotel. You have the fountain, celestial carousel at the bottom right. And then, of course, we have Wizarding World to our right, Dark Universe to our left. Now, let's look over here. As you can see, the actual restaurant over here to the right. And I apologize, it sounds like Angie's having a hard time with the dogs right now. That is what she's whistling at. Okay, and okay, so this is really what I wanted to get to. We were talking about everything else, but in our last video, we talked about how there was no updates on the Kronos. How the Kronos had not had any movement on it except for two little pipes at the bottom. Well, guess what? We're going vertical on the Kronos, which looks amazing. Here's an aerial photo of the Kronos Overlook portal of Epic Universe just beyond the Luna Overlook at the top of the cascading water feature. Number one in this picture is the supports for arch features of a park entrance. So there's more arches that are going to be coming here. And then number two is a recently added concrete form right here to the right. So we're starting to go vertical with the Kronos. This is looking amazing. You guys, I'm telling you, this is going to be the most epic, no pun intended, entrance to a theme park ever. It's going to be an amazing entrance, and I cannot wait because, you know, like, I like the futuristic stuff. I enjoy the futuristic stuff, but I also appreciate what they're doing with the futuristic, celestial, steampunk kind of vibe and mixture of everything in here. It just looks so good. I just can't wait. So let's get moving on. Here's another photo. Now this one is back a little bit further. You can see the overlook here, right here, looking over everything. Looks really good. But you can also see that the crane is working on the Kronos as well. So, like, in reality, this is only half of the Kronos here. So give me 1 second. Let me just actually look up the actual Kronos for you guys real quick, because just in case you do not know what it looks like, I want to show you what it looks like. And that way you can get an idea of how it looks, because it looks just amazing. The whole concept art and everything of what it's going to look like here. So let me pull this up here for you guys so you guys can see, get you an idea of what it really looks like. And let's see here. Let's see, this is from Attractions magazine. Got a few buddies that write for them, so let's take a look here at what the Kronos is going to look like. Let's get you back over there really quickly and show you that in there. It doesn't look like it's hooked up. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much for 20 months. We really appreciate that. That means a lot. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Okay, let's see. It is not pulling up for me here, so we will just have to ignore that and go back to what we were doing. But anyway, let's go back to this and let's just see what it exactly was doing. Thank you all for all the updates, especially HHN. Oh yeah, absolutely, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate you and supporting us from the beginning, pretty much. We are almost here at 7,000. Let's see where we're at right now. Let's see if we've made a dent in it today. But am I on time or late? Well, you're not really late. We're spending some time here. We've done this. So we got 3 more. We're 3 away from 7,000 subscribers, guys. So if you are enjoying the content or if you know everything, want to know more updates and want to support the channel, please do so. That would be awesome. Dustin, we're still getting into it, man. We're talking about the Kronos right now. So let's go back and talk about the Kronos real quick because we need to talk about the Kronos. I'll go back for a second. I'll show you this last photo we showed. Here's the first one here, showing you the Kronos there and how everything is going up there. That's pretty awesome. Of everything going on with it and how it's going up. The beam is being built to the left, and there's other construction that was done to the right there. So it's looking good. So the next photo here that we have was the Kronos from a little bit wider away, and you can see the overlook. You've seen it in the concept art and everything. I don't know why the picture wouldn't pull up, but I'll figure it out later. But yeah, it would, it looks really good, and it's amazing how it's just going to pop up there. But let's keep moving on because we spent a little time on that. Okay, so here's another overlook and overview of how everything's going to look. So pretty much, we've talked about this in our previous videos, but now that we're live, maybe I can kind of dive into it just a little bit more. So at the bottom of the photo is where you're going to walk through, right? You're going to walk up. It'll be paved there. Now, the center here, the center groundwork here, this is going to be what you're going to call the entrance hub. So talking about going through security, guest services, most likely all that stuff. Now that might be on the other side. This is probably just going to be security. Then you go guest services after that. And then of course the entrance of the park here in the middle. I'm sure they'll have restrooms, all that good stuff to make it what it is and how awesome that the park's going to be. And then all these buildings to the right, of course, offices, all that kind of stuff. So now we've pointed that out. So this is how you're going to enter in right here. Where this structure is on the ground, where this pavement is on the ground, the beautiful pavement, that's where you're going to walk through from the beginning. And then here's another photo kind of to the left here, kind of showing you how you'll walk through, and you'll go through the Kronos there and then to the overlook. So it's going to be like a crazy amount of stuff going on. So I don't really know like what exactly, like I know what to expect, but I don't at the same time, like if that makes any sense whatsoever. Like, because I feel like opening day is going to be so overwhelming. Like there's just going to be so much going on during that time. It's just going to be crazy. It's just, I mean, one can hope, one can dream. And Universal, actually, let's put this to bed really quick before we get moving on. So today, there's not just today, but there's been a lot of speculation of whether Epic Universe is going to actually open this year or next year. A lot of people have been saying, oh, it's going to be next year. That's not true. So Universal came out today and said, basically in a tweet, that what is something that you would tell people, the secret you would want everyone to know. And they said, this came from their own Twitter, we have a new theme park opening next year. So to me, that puts it to rest and says, hey, we're getting a theme park next year. So I don't think we're going to have to deal with it opening late. very similar photo to what we just saw. Another look here. We're going to get into some of the lands here in a minute, but here's something I want to see over to the left. Some art or some rock work going on for the portal entrance over here. Looking really good. How they have everything just kind of covered over here, and everything just looks, it just looks amazing. It's just awesome. I cannot wait for this park to open. A little bit more different there, and here's like behind the Kronos. This is like looking out towards the park, or towards the parking lot area. And behind you can see the little fountain there at the bottom. Everything that they've got going on. I mean, it's just, listen, we're getting this theme park next year. We are definitely getting this theme park next year. So I'm excited to see us get this theme park next year, because it's going to be an amazing thing. Okay, now we're going to start getting into the lands a little bit. Here's a little bit further back. This is looking over top of How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berg. Looking into that there. And then one more of the Kronos, and then we'll leave the Kronos alone. Because the Kronos is amazing, right? But it's still got some work to go. Give it a month, if that, maybe a week, and we're going to see it being built up even more than that. But everything looks good. It's just coming together. You got to remember that sometimes things don't look like they're as far as in advance. You got to remember what they're doing on the inside too. So they're doing things on the inside as well, trying to get this all looking good for us. Here's another look at Starfall Racers, one of the best coasters ever. I'm calling it right now, if not the best. Aerial overview, Dark Universe in the front of the photo, and then, of course, Starfall Racers in the back. Wizarding World over to the left with the Elder Wand, and then over to the right we have the Dragon Rally Racers over to the right here. So now let's get into some Dark Universe stuff. You guys want more Dark Universe? Well, we're getting into it. Here we go. Here's the windmill. The actual windmill has been added to this. The actual tower, it was just a tower before. Now the actual windmill has been added. We kind of talked about this last time, but it looks like a little bit more work has been done to this, and it looks extremely amazing. Here's an upper photo here, just a little further away, and this is from the back view of the actual windmill tower here. Look at this. It's just amazing how everything's gonna just happen here. And then of course the Wolfman over to the right, people working over here to the left. These might be, I'm not really sure what this is. This looks like that might be some kind of a snack stand, or it could be a restroom. I don't think it's gonna be a restroom. But over here to the left, it looks pretty awesome right there. So let's keep going here. Now here is an interesting photo. This is something that you really don't think about, but they have to prepare how they're going to run the queues and everything else. So I find this photo really interesting because I've always wondered, like, what do they set in their minds when they're like making the queues, right? This place we are running into. Yeah, that's where I'm going to first, Lisa. Here's an aerial photo of switchback construction in the extended queue for the featured attraction in Dark Universe. So you can kind of see an idea of how it's going to go back and forth here. But we're going to get there. Eventually, when you're standing in this line, you'll probably be standing in it a year from now or a year and a half from now and be like, you know what? I remember watching that video and this guy was talking about these extended queues. And I remember seeing it from above. My name's John, by the way. I never say my name enough. I keep running to you guys in the park and you guys are like, what's your name again? We know your wife's name, but my name's John. So we also have some trees that are being planted here. Nothing too exciting. Trees are, of course, exciting. Dirt is being shaped into a hill over here at the bottom and will likely be landscaped to the left. So that looks good. And then here's aerial photos of a service building that's right outside of Dark Universe. So you can kind of see that they have to have these buildings, of course. And then this is the over top view of that. So here at the bottom, there's the service building. There's the windmill to above that. The Wolfman coaster to the right, and featured attraction up to the top left there. I'm just excited, guys. All right, here we go. Aerial look at the manor construction. Now, the manor is coming together little by little. I feel like they've had this scaffolding up for a really long time. You can see in what it looks like, but it's just getting to that point to where everything looks really, really extremely crazy looking. But now that they're starting to pull everything else aside, you can kind of see inside here of what it looks like. There's the door. There's the archway there to the top there, and everything going up. So they're still working on that, getting that done, and I think that's going to be really awesome. It's going to be amazing. So once they get all that finished, they'll take down the scaffolding. They still have windows you can see that they have to replace here. So that's not even close to being finished right there. So they have to get all that done too. Here's another photo of it, looking at it a little bit closer. Now it looks like there's like a little metal green panel right above the entranceway. I'm not really sure if that's like some kind of a plaque of some sort and it's going to say something. I'm pretty sure it probably will. But I mean, that looks really cool. And you can see just the top here. The theming goes all the way around. Like, not just to the left or to the front. It's left and right. You know, it goes around there, of course. But it looks great. And here is a look at the entrance gateway and the ramp of the manor. So this, you're going to walk through this to get to the manor up there. There it is. It's going to sit right there and looking good. Now, let's talk about a little bit of details here. Aerial photo of current work in the manor in Dark Universe. Arrow is pointing at a metal decoration. This decoration will eventually go around the entire roof line. You can see it right there. It's kind of going around where that is. It'll go around the whole roof line. Just little added details here that they're doing now. And yet we've said it in the last video. I wish we could see inside. I wish we could see what's going on, but we can't, unfortunately. All right, thank you guys for coming in. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We do these Epic Universe updates every week, maybe twice a week. This week you guys got 2 plus 2 Universal videos. So pretty awesome if you ask me. But anyway, let's just get going. Aerial photo of the area of the Dark Universe near the Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster here at the bottom left. Permanent fence is along the track. Temporary fence along the track to the right. So we're getting that actual fencing to the left here, and then to the right is the temporary fence. So left, permanent, right, temporary, pretty much. And then here's a look at the entrance we were talking about going into the manor here, right there. I love the look of that bridge, man. That just looks so good. All right, here's another one. Arrow is aerial at a gateway in the queue of the Curse of the Werewolf roller coaster. So it's just the gateway there to go inside of Curse of the Werewolf. We'll keep moving on. And then here is a tree-filled queue for the Curse of the Werewolf. So at least there's going to be some shade in this area. That's one thing I think theme parks lack a lot of time is trees and shade for you to stand in. So they anticipate you waiting for a really long time. Now, in my opinion, I think this attraction is going to be very similar to Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which I just rode today, and it's still a great coaster, but they have the rotating cars going on with this, which we've shown that in a previous video. If you want to check that out, just click the link, go down below, and all those videos are there for you guys to check out of it actually testing. And then, of course, here in the middle, this is the launch area right here where it's going to launch out there. Looks really good. They have the wagon up here at the top left, top right, 2 wagons there. Looks really good. But overall, I mean, here's a net here as well that's been installed. So I don't know if that net is permanent or not. Looks like it might be permanent, or not permanent, I mean. So temporary, that's the word I'm looking for. And then here we go. Here's an aerial photo of the current work in the village at Dark Universe. There's so much. I mean, just this area here is what I want to chill in. You know, this is where I want to hang out, is this area here. I just want to enjoy it, because not only is it because I like the classic monsters, but I just love the theming, the feel of the old world, the feel of back in England in the early late 1800s, you know, time theme. It just feels amazing. Or even earlier than that, 1700s. I just love that idea and that feel. If it wasn't for not having technology, I would have wanted to live back then. But I love my technology a little too much. And then, of course, we have a well here that's being built up. We've been talking about this well for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's getting there. It's closer. It's not there yet. It's in the middle of the photo. If you don't see that, you're right in the middle there. And then, of course, let's go back here. Here we go. Guests will enter through the portal at the top. Here is the portal area here. And continue along a winding path past a crypt to a broken wall bordering the village. So you can see this here. You will come out from the top of the photo here, walk down and around, and you'll come out through where this broken wall is at, right here in the middle. Most pavement currently covered with wood to protect from damage. So it does look like the pavement has been done. They're just not kind of, you know, giving it away of some sort, I guess. And then on the other side of that, you see what they're talking about as it continues on through here. Yeah, this is through the village, actually. Just, it's very similar to, okay, don't take this the wrong way. It's very similar to Hogsmeade and how everything's kind of enclosed and small in this area. Of course, there'll be areas around. There'll be, you know, snack stands and stuff like that. But the top left is the gravestone lined at the entrance of the world. Much of the pavement is covered, like we just said, due to the with wood due to keeping it protected. So this is just the area that you're going to go in right here, and everything just looks really good here. Here's another look here. Aerial photo of the part of the village. This looks awesome. Like this is where the theming is really cool, where it looks like it's been there for years and it's just old and decrepit. I love that type of theming, and they're really going with that. Like this door right here on the left with a little trash can in front of it. Is that going to be just theming? I think so. I think it'll be just theming. But what could it be? What's the theme that it could be? Could it be the old witch's shop or something like that? Like the old apothecary or something like that? It would be awesome just to live in this world and see everything that's going on in it. And of course, here is the portal. We love the portal. This is my favorite portal. Yes, I love the Super Nintendo one. Yes, I love the Wizarding World. And yeah, I kind of like the How to Train Your Dragon. But this is my favorite portal entrance going into Dark Universe. Everything we just talked about, let's come out of there and let's talk about the front. We should probably do these backwards next time. Well, actually it'd be frontwards, but see the aerial photo here of everything going on, the pavement in the front here leading into Dark Universe and going around. Looks great. Just looks great, man. And of course we have this photo as well, going around into the land. This is over top of the land, portal the top left. Walk in, you go through here to the village area. Now, Curse of the Werewolf is going to be to your left when you enter. The manor is going to be to your right when you enter. So just keep that in mind as you're envisioning how it's going to look whenever it happens. That's how it's going to look. So pretty cool if you ask me. I'm so glad we have these photos. Oh, here's an update. We're going to cover this week. But Tribute Store opening really soon. You can make your own VHS thing. It's like $96. We'll cover that really soon because we have a lot more to talk about. All right. So over top, here we go. This is the entrance, the portal right here. To the left here, we have some type of little watchtower looking thing to the left. And to the right, we have like a grave. This is like all the graves that you're going to see as you're going through. This is what they... I don't know if it's really a... yeah, I guess that's the only one that's there. Okay, that's the only one that's there. So that is pretty cool. And then coming back through over here, here's the well we keep talking about. The well is going to make it. Now look at this wall right here. This big slab of stone behind at the back in front of the tree. You can kind of see that there. That is interesting looking. I think that could be like a photo op area. Maybe for Frankenstein, maybe for Dracula, something like that. I really hope they have characters that are walking around here, the different ones. I think that would just add to it and just make it, amazing. I think would be really interesting, and not to, pull from Disney World, but an interesting idea is kind of treat it the way when Kylo Ren comes out at Galaxy's Edge. Maybe treat those characters that way too. Like, it's supposed to be a scary thing, although it's fun at the same time. It's supposed to be a scary thing, It's kind of in the theme. But in my personal opinion, I think Disney World really limited themselves by just sticking to the new trilogy, not the original trilogy. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Dark Universe. Okay, aerial photo of the current theming. Here's that well again. We keep talking about that well. It's looking good. Well update 2024. It's going to get there, guys. When it's done, it's going to be like, I'm just going to make sure that you guys remember this. And I'm going to go take a photo in front of it. I'm going to pose. And it's going to be the first thumbnail from Epic Universe. I doubt it. But it'll be in there. We'll include it. We'll make sure we take pictures of it. And then, of course, we have everything here going around. This is continued work. This is that wall I was just talking about. Not really sure what it's going to be. It seems like this is like restrooms maybe over to the left. Maybe. It's hard to see without shifting the camera there. But... and then over top here, here's the entrance to the manor. Again, looks really good. I love this bridge. The bridge almost looks like dead bones like sticking out of that bridge, coming onto it. But you can look over top of it. It looks like a little plaque over top there. And then, of course, the little window here. More windows being done to the left and right. That's why scaffolding's not been done, because theming needs to be finished, and they haven't done that yet. So it's going to look really good once they're done, guys. And then here's another photo of the extended queue. So we talked about that. So let's move on from everything we talked about, because we don't want to just keep repeating. So now it's time to get in to Super Nintendo World, one of the most anticipated. Now, we have covered this at length, and sometimes it has been nothing, but other times we've had so much to talk about. And today, there's a few things that I want to talk about in this construction photos for Super Nintendo World. First of all, we've got the portal that's being worked on at the bottom left here. As you enter in, we didn't really talk about it, but here at the top of Super Nintendo World, to the left, there's like an ice world going on. Now, I do not know if Hollywood has this. And listen, I have tried to somewhat stay spoiler-free from Hollywood, even though like every one of you guys have been saying, go to Hollywood, check it out before it comes here. Hollywood's is going to be a lot smaller than ours. Ours is going to be a lot larger. So I don't know what they have. I mean, I do know what they had there, but like extra intricate details. But let's get into this, because they had the Yoshi Riders out, or the Yoshis out. So we need to get a little closer photos of those. But first, let's talk about the portal first. Landscaping going on at the portal here. They're building everything up. So you're going to go up and in to that portal there. And of course, everything you've seen in the concept art from before, this will continue to build here. So looks good. And then do we have, there's some Helios stuff there, but that's just a reply. So let's get into this here. Here we go. We have an aerial look at the Super Nintendo World portal, an escalator, which we've talked about before, which will bring you into Peach's Castle. So you'll enter in Peach's Castle. We've talked about this time and time again. And then you will exit out of where these gentlemen and ladies are standing right here in the entranceway, if you guys can see that. They are standing right there with the little gray with the purple pieces there. I need to get one of those football pin things. Like, we need to do that. Now, behind that, you can see the Atlantic restaurant right behind that with all the windows going on. They made sure they got curtains going up so you can't see what's going on there. So, just keep that in mind. A little bit closer photo here, we can see the exit to Peach's Castle. Some trees added here to the left, and a piranha plant that is still being covered up. So it looks good. We're just keep on getting stuff that's being added every day. And then here's an over-the-top look. We got Yoshi at the bottom here. We also have some of the conch doors over there. We have piranha plants. We have mystery blocks. We have everything going on. And of course, Bowser's Castle to the right of the photo. And the bottom right is Mount Beanpole. So keep getting in there, man. So I feel like we just covered that. Let's see what else we got here. Now here's a look here at the theming I was talking about with the trees. The trees being added. These are new. These are cool. They look just like the ones out of the game. And then there's blocks on top there, blocks over to the left there. And of course, you'll have to walk down the stairs. Now, someone was asking me if there's going to be a service ramp with this. I'm sure there's going to be either a service ramp or some type of elevator, what I've heard. I haven't really spotted it right yet. So if you're worried about that, if you're having to use an ECV or a wheelchair, there will be a way down to the land. So don't fear, don't worry. That will happen. All right. So we talked about this in the last video just a few days ago. And we talked about the entrance to the Super Mario Kart ride. So you can kind of see here, the cylinder, let's start here. The cylinder at the bottom is going to be the Toadstool Cafe. So that's where that's going to be built up. Now, you got to go back up the stairs here to reach Bowser's Castle and the Super Mario Kart attraction. Now, you can see here, it looks like there's still the claws here at the bottom. But here's what I really wanted to talk about. It looks like the snowy cap mountains here to the left, or the snowy land of Super Nintendo World. That is awesome. I think that is really cool. And that is one of the first pieces. I mean, there's been a lot that's been added, but one of the first pieces that I'm like, oh, that's really interesting and different. I didn't expect that. I think it looks really good. I always like, when I play video games, I always like the snow levels. I don't know why, but I just do. Now, here's a little closer look at what we just talked about. This is around Bowser's Fortress. So, of course, it's going to be cold and evil. When it actually should be lava and pretty scary. But we have a piranha plant that's covered there. You can see the top of the spire there for the castle. It looks like there's teeth around the spire, which looks really good. Pretty scary stuff, in my opinion. If you're scared of that stuff. Here's a little bit better of a look. You can see right here at the center of the photo, the little tower that goes up with the teeth around the spire. I mean, there's not much added to that. There's piranha plant to the left over here. There's everything else over here. So everything looks really good. And here's a look at, this was the last thumbnail in earlier this week's video. You can see the photos here, the Bowser feet at the bottom. Looks like they're starting to protrude a little bit to where Bowser's face is going to start coming out of that. I'm excited about that. So that is pretty amazing. Let's go with Yoshi. Let's talk about Yoshi. We've talked about him. There's Piranha Plant that's been added here to the left. And of course the contour, which has been here for a while. Hey Jessica in the view, how are you? And then it just goes around into there. So really interesting stuff here. Piranha Plant. This one was covered up. They've uncovered the top of him. But it doesn't look like they've fully uncovered him yet. So it looks like he could have a little bit more work to do. Because that looks like metal back there. It doesn't look like it's green like it's supposed to be. So we will see. They'll continue with that. Here's another photo here showing that, which is awesome. Oh, wait. Was that a POW button? I just saw. Yep, there it is. POW up at the top left. That looks amazing. Very emotional, but you'll manage. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. Hope everything gets better for you. Okay, and then Mountain Beanpole. Let's talk about Mountain Beanpole for a minute. We still got Mountain Beanpole going on, and some Yoshis back here. A lot of stuff going on over here with some tents set up and everything, but it looks good. It's got a lot of Yoshi stuff here. Just the same old thing. Now, let's talk about this because the ground level area here, that's underneath this is leading to Donkey Kong Country. Now, this is going to be amazing. We talked about Dark Universe, how it's my most anticipated land. But I think that Donkey Kong is my most anticipated area of Super Nintendo World. Auntie and I are great. Thank you for asking. And then, of course, we have this photo as well leading into Donkey Kong Country. We still have the roller coaster, everything going on with that, looking good and tight. Now, we got the concept art of what everything's going to look like. Now, here at the top left, you can see that this is where the actual Donkey Kong face is going to go. There's going to be a little hut here at the bottom center right here beside the rock work. And it just looks great. I mean, everything just looks good. And here's another look here. This is where the waterfall Minecart Madness is going to happen. Scaffolding recently removed from the golden walls at the center, so they removed those there. And now they're continuing progress here. You can see behind that, though, it looks like a bunch of trees. Like it's going to be, look like you're out in the jungle somewhere. I don't think I've noticed this before. Maybe that's new. But there is progress going back here. Theming that's being added to that too. So that looks good. And of course, more theming here with Minecart Madness. Some flowers added. The track going inside of the building, out of the building, and inside of the building there. Looks really good. Now, let's talk about this one. Number 1 is the waterfall. Water then flows under the bridge. Number 2, minecarts will splash through water here. Number 3, bubbly barrel snack stand construction. Number 4, pair of green screaming pillars that face the minecart. So that's where number 4 is right there. So everything looking good. Now this is going to be the bubbly barrel snack stand in Donkey Kong Country. It's going to look like a little hut from the actual game / show / movie. If you remember the old Donkey Kong show used to come on when we were kids, like that's crazy. But you can see they're trying to finish that up there, and they're getting really close to doing so. Theming should be coming really, really soon. Okay, so here at the center of this aerial photo is a device to assure that empty test cars do not strike the scaffolding adjacent of the track of the minecart. So that's just keeping it from hitting the scaffolding that's going on while they're testing. Now we've heard of it testing. There's been a couple of videos out of testing, but nothing concrete. And then here's an aerial photo clearance of the device here, just showing you that there's causing that to separate from there. And that dang wall, man, that dang wall needs to be painted. That's like the last thing we keep talking about. We've talked about that wall for weeks, a couple of months now. Okay, 1 and 2, walls pending theming, so there's more coming here. Number 3 is scaffolding rising for theming near the roller coaster track. A device is at the track that assures clearance of the test, like we were just talking about. So that keeps it from, bumping into the scaffolding and everything else, because it is possible that could be done. It's very possible that could lead to that, and that could happen. But, I mean, this looks amazing. So we've spent a lot of time on this. So now, let's just scroll up a little bit here, and let's talk about How to Train Your Dragon, because we need to talk about that before we get out of here. We've talked about some Harry Potter stuff. Well, we did not talk about Harry Potter today. We will save that for the next video. We'll make sure we get all that. We talked about the Helios. We've talked about Celestial Carousel. We've talked about a lot. Now let's get into How to Train Your Dragon. We got a few things we got to talk about here. Now, here in this photo, number 1 is sheep characters in protective plastic. Number 2 is the entrance to the rally. This is Dragon Racers Rally. And at the top of the photo, you can see grandstands where there is seating, box seats with for the dragons over to the left. You can see that there. Little dragons poking out of there. And then scaffolding seating there. Now, I believe this is just theming. I don't think anyone's going to be allowed to sit on these, because that is really high up and asking for a lot of problems. So I don't think that's going to be that. I think that's just theming, and no one will really be sitting up there. Here's a little closer. You can see the dragon poking out here of the scaffolding at the Dragon Racers Rally. And then they're continuing to fix the bleachers there for everything. So he's really cool, sticking out right there. Here's another photo here, just a little wider, showing everything there. It's pretty awesome. How long have we been going? 56 minutes. We've been going a while. Woo! All right. I told you there was a lot to cover. I'm glad I'm doing it this way because there's just a lot. Okay, so we have the Dragon Racer Rally over here to the left. The sheep being covered up. Hiccup's wing glider roller coaster track passes through this structure, though. That's cool. That's going to be awesome. I didn't realize that. Ah, that'd be cool, man. If they had that to where, like, the noises are making it sound like people are cheering, like the dragons flying and stuff like that. That's cool. Really smart. Really smart, Universal. Here's a little closer look here of that. Guys just standing here taking a coffee break. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Imagine the spinning ride arms passing relatively close to the grandstands. So yeah, they'll be passing the grandstands pretty closely. Like I said, I think this is just theming. I don't think this is anything that people will actually be able to sit up there. I think that would be kind of dangerous. It would be cool. I'd be all for it, but I just don't think that's going to happen. It would be a really cool area just to kind of sit and chill. Here's a wide photo here. Starfall Racers behind us. Dragon Racer Rally in front of us. And in the bottom right, we've got our little friends down there, the little Vikings, welcoming you to the world. And then let's go a little bit further here. Here is the entrance portal here. Now this is the opposite side. This is like once you come in, you'd be looking out there. So they're continuing to work on that with the rock work there. Looks really good. And then we've got photo here. Just continuing, going along. Good, I have a fear of falling from heights. Yeah, I don't mind him. Angie doesn't like him though. She gets freaked out with heights. A little bit more here is camp. This is the actual Viking training camp. They're working on everything here. The Y-shaped structural element is staged at the center. It's a play area and how to train your dragon world, if you're not familiar with that. So much, man. So much to cover. Restrooms to the right. Training camp to the left. At the bottom, there's the coaster and the Vikings welcoming you into the world. So, let's take a look at this. This is from the outside. Number 1 is recently added structure at the bay. 2, site of the Celestial Park restaurants. Number 3 and 4. Here at the top and right is an S-curve of fountains for the Atlantic restaurant. So everything just kind of ties in together there. Everything looks really good right there. Now, here's a look at the actual launch of Hiccup's Wing Glider roller coaster. This is going to be just amazing. This is the actual, like I said, launch, where it's going to launch off there. The entrance there where you come out and then launches there. Lisa P, I'm going to love this part. Yeah, me too. I cannot wait for it. And then how everything's going along there too. So it looks good. Here's a little closer look here. Now, really cool thing. If you look at this photo, you see that there is something being covered up that's yellow. This is believed to be Toothless under yellow protective covering. Toothless is the main dragon. He's the black dragon you see in all the promotions. So we think this is going to be Toothless. Whether he's going to be animatronic, not sure. I would think somewhat of an animatronic. Maybe very similar to Hagrid's and the little scorpion thing when you go through there. Maybe that. Possibly. We'll see. But yeah, we believe this is Toothless that's covered up here. And then more of the barn here. Just more of this going up. Now here's a wide photo. Scaffolding has come down. Of course, we've talked about this from the restaurant here, the meat hall. And I think that this is just looking good overall. I don't think we really have a lot here. This is the one thing I want to really talk about for How to Train Your Dragon is we have the Viking statues at the entrance of the meat hall. This is going to be cool. You guys know that this is the restaurant I'm looking forward to the most because we're going to get turkey legs and we're going to have mead. Well, mead. It would be really cool if they made something similar for like everyone to drink, like kids and stuff. That came in like a horn cup. Those things are awesome. That's what I expect, though. I expect potatoes and meat in this place. I think it's gonna be cool. This looks awesome. Looks really good. But today, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. I have kept you guys for about an hour, a little over an hour, so I don't want to keep you any longer. This is by far our longest Universal Epic Universe update of all time right now. So really excited about that. I'm really excited about what Epic Universe is coming and what's going to happen. And we just hit 7,000 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for that. We really appreciate it. We'll do a little celebration video really soon. But thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you. You guys mean the world to us. And we cannot wait for Epic Universe to open. If you have not yet, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. So therefore, you can get all the new updates on everything Universal and Epic Universe. Because that is primarily what we cover. And we love doing it. Lisa P, I hope our interactive dragons can interact with Toothless. Yeah, that would be awesome. Nice, says Dustin. Thank you, guys. Oh, thank you so much. Is that 17? X17? Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate you guys. Yes, congratulations. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That means a lot to us. That is awesome. That's so cool. All right, guys, so I'm going to get out of here, and we're going to have some new videos coming up this week. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed so you know when every single one of those are coming out. We love y'all, and remember,